Once again, we are looking at another WM watch, or Wally Merrick. This specifically is the WM212. Now, I have done a lot of reviews on Wally Merrick, and that's because they offer an affordable package that normally is so good with all of the materials used, with the fact that it's an automatic, like this is an automatic diver, kind of a diver, 100 meters of water resistance. Anyway, they offer a lot of bang for buck. Like this specifically on the website, I will leave linked down below, is like 120 bucks. 120 bucks. So let's go ahead and go over this thing. Details first, as always. If you're here, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Hit the notification bell. I have a lot of videos coming out on this channel. So let's get right into the details of this watch. Right off the bat, this watch may not be for you. This is offered in 3 colors for the WM212. This is the green, and it has a brown bezel. Now, to me, this is sort of reminiscent of the Project Underdog, and San Martin kind of did their own little twist on like the watermelon or whatever. This is sort of similar, maybe. I know that there was the tongue-in-cheek of like Avocado, and that's kind of what this reminds me of because it has a brown ceramic bezel and a green gradient textured dial. Now this thing comes in at 41 millimeters in diameter. Its thickness on this 316L stainless steel case is about 12 millimeters thick. The lug to lug is about 47 millimeters. So you can see that actually the lug to lug is quite short compared to the actual overall diameter of the watch itself. And the strap width or the lug width is going to be 20 millimeters. Now this is on a beads of rice style bracelet, which actually looks quite nice. It's high polished on the outside. It is brushed on the end links here and high polished on those beads of rice. It tapers down to a proper milled double pusher clasp with the WM symbol right there. And this thing has plenty of micro adjustments. Sadly not on the fly, but with a paper clip you can easily adjust this. You can see it has 6 levels of micro adjustments. This thing has push pins, solid in-link, and it does have an open display case back for the world's ugliest workhorse movement, the NH35. This thing, like I said, does have a ceramic bezel, and it is 120 click unidirectional bezel. It actually sounds quite nice. The coin edge here is quite grippy, especially with these gloves on. And the reason I wear gloves is not only because I have ugly hands, just kidding. It's really just because I don't want to print up the watch with my fingerprints or oil of my hands as I'm going around the watch itself. It does have a brushed case, high polished around the top of the lug, so it does have multi-levels of finishing. And other than that, it's a basic diver. Except this thing only offers 100 meters of water resistance, so it is a good everyday watch, but it's not really a dive watch. So you can wear this snorkeling, swimming, but not scuba diving. On top of this dial is a dead piece of flat sapphire crystal with air undercoating, which is actually quite nice. It does have a chapter ring that is nicely done. Everything seems to line up. The quality control of Wally Merrick or WM has always been quite nice. Now, one of the things that I will say is it looks like they just use like a standard style bracelet, and it doesn't fit the watch perfectly, but it fits it good enough to where like I would put it on the same category as Citizen or Bulova when it comes to their bracelets. And this thing is a third of the cost of those. It does have a screw down crown. And again, it does have the NH35, which is a workhorse movement. It does have hacking and hand winding. Let's go around and watch it change over. So just about the 11 starts to change over just before the 12 changes over right there on the date window at the 3 o'clock position. This thing is 24 joules, 21,600 vibrations an hour, so that square counterbalanced second hand ticks at about 6 ticks a second. I do like the applied indices all the way around. I like the fact that it's not standard baton indices like you'd normally see. It looks kind of retro, which is nice, especially with the blocked hands here. This thing comes in at 144 grams on the bracelet, and it does feel substantial. Now on the case back here, the case back window is mineral glass, which is fine. But again, the world's ugliest movement with the NH35 here. It is not decorated. I wish they would just use something like a sterile case back, especially with these style of watches. This thing does have BG W9 Super Luminova, and let's do a lume shot right here in the dark. It actually looks quite nice. I'm pretty happy with this watch so far. I'm just not a big fan of the color wave. It is, again, it does have a brown ceramic, and it's nice to see a ceramic bezel that you'd see on a Rolex on a watch that's just barely over $100. It just means it's going to last longer. It's going to look better for a lot longer. And the materials on this, again, solid 316L stainless steel all the way around, solid 316 stainless steel bracelet, mill clasp. It does have an automatic movement. Yes, it is a cheaper automatic movement, but it is a workhorse. It does have sapphire, ceramic. The gradient looks quite nice. In fact, let's do some close-up shots here, and you can see that everything is done quite nice. And it's done very well. I'm very happy with this watch so far. Let's go ahead and toss it on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. Okay, and here's the watch size to my 7 1/4 inch wrist. Ooh, look at that. Ouch. So it's my actually wrist is slightly swollen, but this is still sized to my 7 1/4 inch wrist. You can see that the general lug to lug being slightly smaller actually makes this slightly larger watch wear not so large on the wrist itself. I think this thing is extremely comfortable. The beads of rice bracelet means that unlike an oyster style bracelet with the links slightly larger, this allows it to wrap around the wrist because there's more points of rotation. There's more points of angulation, I guess, around the bracelet. There's more points where it can bend around the wrist, which makes it far more comfortable. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. So my final thoughts on this. So this is a great watch if you want something kind of quirky and unique, right? The color wave, of course, like I've already explained, for the Studio Underdog and the San Martin and all that. This is like an avocado. I think that WM or Welly Merrick is actually bringing a lot of good, high quality materials in an affordable package. And they really are creating very unique watches. They're not just an homage brand. So if you want to pick this up, link down in the description below. It doesn't help me at all. It's just their main website. If you're not interested in this one, check out their full line of other watches. I think this thing, again, is done quite well. And for just over $100, it's really hard to beat. So if you're still here, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Hit the like button and the notification bell because I have a lot of things on the desk here to review. And hopefully once the apartment is set up a little bit better, I'll start doing more intros and outros so you can see my beautiful face. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one.